What's up, guys? It's your man Donovan Sharp. I've got a viewer question here from Desmond. And if you have questions, make sure you super chat questions in, and I will answer them at the end. So, Desmond says, "Quote: Donovan, I've been trying to craft my red pill game, shaking away beta traces in the dating world. So I've been on dates recently, single moms." He puts in parentheses. "I don't have any kids, but to test my newfound knowledge, I figured I'd go on some dates and try to put the theory to the test and at least get laid. Well, through conversation and through questioning these chicks get defensive and call me arrogant for expressing what I expect out of dating a woman with kids. They either get defensive or I haven't been able to turn the momentum in my favor. Even going for a drink seems like a waste of my time. I'm looking for ways to counter these tactics, not looking to lock in with any single moms, but I would like advice. This is frustrating." Um, Thanks for the question, Desmond, because a lot of guys run into sort of the same thing in their dating lives. Let me turn my screen here. A lot of guys are running into the same thing in their dating lives. They voice their expectations and demands, and a lot of times they're met with resistance. Women will question their motives. They'll call them arrogant. They'll say things like, "How dare you tell me what I can and cannot do?" And some women even try to negotiate. They'll say things like, "Well, if you want me to do X, then you need to do Y," or even worse than that, "If you want me to do X, then you also need to do X." There are many more examples and levels of pushback and resistance, but you guys get the idea. The females these guys are dealing with, the females that you are dealing with, Desmond, simply are not complying. So like Desmond asks, how do you counter these tactics? How do you get enthusiastic compliance from a woman you voice expectations to? How do you get her to say, "Yes, of course, baby, you want it, you got it"? I'm going to give you the answer in just a minute, but first I'm going to tell you why you're getting met with resistance, why these women are calling you arrogant, and why these women think they can negotiate your behavior with your demands. And I'm going to relate this to a problem that I had early on in my sales career, and I'm going to tell you why it's exactly the same as the issue that you are having. My very first high ticket retail sales job, I guess we'll call it a high ticket retail sales job, was at Mattress Firm. And one of the issues I kept running into as a rookie salesperson, a rookie salesman, was that customers were scoffing at the price. As in, they would tell me, "Are you kidding me? There's no way it costs that much. There's no way this mattress set costs that much," things like that. Now, it's normal for customers to push back on price a little bit because they're trying to get the best deal. But that wasn't what was happening. I wasn't getting any counter offers. I wasn't getting any discount requests. I wasn't getting anything but, "You're crazy if you think I'm going to pay that much for a mattress set. I don't care. We don't care if it is a Stearns and Foster." So my sales trainer, his name is Joe Trainum, one of the two best salesmen I've ever known in my life. The other guy is Damon Lindley. He came to our location to observe me in action to sort of figure out what was going on, why I wasn't making sales. So he watched me deal with three customers, and of course, I didn't sell any one of them. I went over three. So he takes me aside and he says, "Donovan, your problem is very simple." He says, "You are giving the price away too soon. You're telling the customer what the price is too early in the process." I said, "What do you mean?" Well, Joe told me, he says, "Look, man, you're not building value. The reason customers are getting sticker shock when you tell them it's going to be $4,000 for a king size mattress set is because you're giving the price before you've had the opportunity to explain the features and the benefits. If the customer doesn't know what they're getting for the price, they're never going to buy from you because they don't have all of the information." Okay, it's funny because he went on to say, he said, "Listen, even if you try to explain the features and benefits after you tell them the price, it's not going to make a difference. It's not going to matter because all they can think about is that $4,000 price tag that you just dropped on them. And what ends up happening is that you start to justify the price, which comes off as desperate, and nobody likes to buy from a desperate salesman." So he went on to say, he said, "Listen, man, if you take the time, all you have to do is take the time to explain what they're getting for the price, you'll increase your odds of success because you've built value." Guys, that's when the light bulb went on in my head. So I spent almost 45 minutes with the next customer. And when at the end, I told them that the twin mattress that they wanted for their 7-year-old kid was only $349. They didn't believe that was the real price. As in, they thought it was going to be a lot more than what I told them. I had built so much value by explaining the features and benefits that they thought they were looking at maybe $500-600 for a mattress set. So they were pleasantly surprised when I only told them they had to pay $350. Not only did they thank me for it, now that I'm thinking about it, not only did they thank me for it, they paid full price for delivery and full price for the frame. Which, those of you who are in the mattress business, you know those are two things that customers traditionally try to get for free when they're buying a mattress set from you. I built so much value that those customers had no issue paying full retail price for what most mattress customers get at no charge, which is delivery and a frame. Desmond, dating is exactly the same in this regard. A woman is not going to commit to you on any level if she doesn't know what your value is. Okay? Desmond, your problem was the same problem that I had when I first started in sales. You're going on dates with these women, and on the very first date, you're giving them the price, you're giving them the cost. You're telling them what your expectations are before she has any idea who you are, what you're about, and what your value is. Okay? Understand this. You cannot expect women to try to meet your demands if they don't know that you're worth the effort. So you're out on dates with these single mothers and you tell them, look, I expect you to let me see your phone when I ask you to. I expect you not to go out with your girlfriends, to the bar or to the club, right? And I expect you to always be available for sex whether or not you have the kids. And these women are thinking to themselves, what? I don't even know you, right? Which is code for, I don't know enough about you to determine whether or not you're worth making the effort for. So of course they're going to get defensive. Of course they're going to call you arrogant. You're essentially telling customers, hey, welcome to Mattress Firm. It's going to cost you $4,500 for a mattress set today. You ready to buy? That sounds silly, right? Well, that's what you're doing when you're telling these women what your expectations and demands are before they know what your value is. Now, the difference between sales and dating in this regard, in terms of building value, is that in sales, you have to disclose the features and benefits. With women, they have to discover your value. As a salesman, you have to tell your customers about the individually wrapped coils. You have to explain the 1-inch foam wall that increases the surface area of the mattress, which gives both people more room to sleep, right? You have to disclose the fact that the gel-infused memory foam will keep them cooler at night. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Donovan, you always say that discovery trumps disclosure. Yes, it does in the dating game. But in sales, customers have recourse if they find out that you were dishonest about something you told them about your product. They can get their money back, they can get upgrades. There are many different, sort of quasi-insurance policies that today's customers have if something they're told by a salesman turns out to be grossly inaccurate or just straight up false. This is why when you disclose the features and benefits, okay, this is why when you disclose features and benefits, my screen was jacking up here. This is why when you tell them what the features and benefits are, customers take you at your word because they know that if you're lying, eventually they're going to find out, and that could cost you, the salesman, your commission, your reputation, and sometimes even your job. So customers are much more confident that you will be honest with them when telling them what they're getting out of whatever product you're trying to sell them. Well, gentlemen, girls don't have that same luxury when it comes to dating and men. If a man lies to a woman about what he does for a living, what his net worth is, or anything else that would lead her to believe that he is much higher value than he actually is, yeah, okay, she can break up with him or she can leave him, but guess what? She's already started sleeping with him. She's already invested time and emotion. So if she figures out he's not who he said he was after she started seeing him, it's too late. She's already paid the price. She doesn't get a refund on her time. She doesn't get a warranty claim on giving him her body. Even if she dumps him on the spot, the price has already been paid and she's not getting that time back. She's not getting that invested emotion back. For this reason, you must allow a woman to discover your value, Desmond. Anybody can say anything, and women are keenly aware of this because men lie about who and what they are all the time, and women know this. Discovery is much more effective than disclosure in the sexual marketplace, because it allows a woman to see with her own two eyes and determine what your value is. Here's your second problem, Desmond. You're trying to sell customers who haven't told you they want to buy from you. Okay? Just because two people walk into your mattress store does not mean they're ready to buy from you. In the same vein, just because a woman goes out on a date with you doesn't mean she wants to be in a friends with benefits arrangement with you. That doesn't mean she wants to casually date you, much less have a one night stand with you. What you're doing, Desmond, is you're mistaking a female's willingness to go out on a date with you with her willingness to sleep with you. You're making the same mistake that women make when men sleep with them. Well, he's sleeping with me, so of course he wants to be in a relationship with me, and that is almost never the case when it comes to men in demand. You are jumping the gun, you're trying to take shortcuts by saying, okay, I'm this high value guy, and because of X, Y, and Z. And you're assuming that she believes what you're saying when it's obvious that she doesn't, because if she did, you wouldn't be met with resistance when you tell her what your expectations are. You cannot sell to a customer, Desmond, who does not want to buy. Okay, Donovan, well, how do you know a customer wants to buy from you? Well, the answer is simple. They ask you what are called in the sales business buying questions. When a customer asks things like, how long is the warranty? That is a buying question. They are thinking about buying from you. When they ask questions like, how fast can you deliver? That is a buying question. Of course, the buying question of all buying questions is, how much does it cost? Customers do not ask these questions unless they're thinking about buying. And customers will not think about buying unless you build value. Okay, well, what's that got to do with women, Donovan? Well, the answer is even simpler. She gives you what are called indicators of interest, or as Alpha Male Strategies likes to call them, choosing signals. Now, you have to understand this too. Indicators of interest, or IOIs, and choosing signals, they manifest themselves in different ways depending upon what any given female wants from you. IOIs that signal arousal, meaning she wants to have a one-night stand with you, are very different from the indicators of interest that she wants more than just sex out of you one time. Now, Desmond, you said in your question that you're not looking to lock down a single mother, which means you don't want to be in a committed relationship with one. But you've also told these women what your demands and expectations are. So I'm assuming you're talking about casual dating, which is another way of saying friends with benefits, which falls somewhere between a one-night stand and a relationship, somewhere in between there. But guess what, Desmond? Even if you're just dating casually, women still invest in these arrangements. No, it's not the same investment as she makes in a long-term committed relationship, but it's a hell of a lot more than she invests in a one-night stand. You're going out on dates with these women thinking a one-night stand is in the bag when clearly that is not the case. Then when you tell them you expect XYZ, if you start dating them, they scoff at what you say because they haven't even had time. They haven't even had enough time to decide whether or not they even want to sleep with you. In other words, you're trying to sell customers who aren't sure they want to buy. You're not even getting choosing signals that indicate they want to even have sex with you, much less IOIs that tell you that they're looking to date you casually. So to answer your question in terms of what tactics you can use to counter these tactics, the answer is that if they push back when you tell them what you expect from them, it's already too late. You've told them the price too soon, Desmond. You've given them their cost before they could determine your value. And no matter what you tell her after you voice your expectations, all she can think about is what her cost is. And at that point, you are justifying your demands, which makes you look and sound desperate. Okay? The way to avoid these women pushing back when you voice your expectations and demands, it's done in two parts. Number one, I said it before, allow her to discover your value. Let her discover that you have options with other women other than her. Don't tell her, well, I have 3 other girls I'm seeing. Okay? Let her discover your confidence. Don't tell her, well, I'm supremely confident. Let her discover that you are worth meeting your demands. The second part is that you wait for her to tell you she wants to spend more time with you. When a female discovers your value and decides she wants more of your time, she'll start to ask you those buying questions we talked about. Things like, hey, do you want to grab a bite before we go back to your place tonight? Or, hey, I'm free on Fridays and Saturdays now, right? These are buying questions, right? Those are questions. Those are questions that say, "Hey, I like you, and I want more of your time and attention." I remember one girl I was sleeping with. She would come over only on Friday nights. Well, after about a month or so, she asked, "Hey, can I have you on Saturday nights too?" Well, what happened there was that she discovered my value and liked me enough to want me around more. So she asked me a buying question and gave me a clear indicator of interest in spending more time with me. So Desmond, my advice to you would be to stop telling these women what you expect from them on the first date. Dude, that is way too soon. You gotta understand, these women haven't had time, they haven't had enough time to discover your value. And to be honest with you, Desmond, it sounds to me like your value may not be high enough. And you know it's not high enough because you're trying to skip a bunch of steps and go straight to, okay, this is what I expect from you without giving her time to discover your value. You might not want her to discover your value because maybe you know that your value isn't that high, which is why you're looking for a tactic or a cheat code to bypass a woman's natural ability to filter out men who aren't worth their time, right? If your value is high enough, women will proactively ask you, so what are you looking for in a woman? How can I spend more time with you? Which is the retail customer equivalent of how much does it cost? Which means that they have seen and heard enough and they've decided they're willing to pay the price. That is the time that you tell her what you expect from her. That is the time you give her the demands that she must meet to get more of your time and attention. Desmond, increase your value and stop voicing expectations and demands on first dates, and you will increase the odds of your success. All right, let me go to the let's see what other questions we got here. Oh, wait a minute, I'm a little bit behind there. All right, excellent. I literally just all right. All right, perfect. Ty says Donovan would be a great sports commentator. I've been told that many times before. King Zozo, good to see you in here. Chaos Theory Splinter Cell says Gorilla Mind Rush, where do I buy? My website, donovansharp.com. Go to donovansharp.com or go to donovansharp.com/Gorilla Mind Rush. That dude says, can't you create a box for them to discover? No, you can't. And when you say create a box for them to discover, that comes off as something that is scripted or something that is planned, something that is like you guys like the movie Hitch. You guys have seen the movie Hitch, starring Will Smith. He's like this dating expert, this dating guru. What he did is he would put these guys in these sort of made up tailored scripted situations for a girl to discover them. And listen, that works in the movies. That doesn't happen in real life. Listen, girls have a supernatural ability to sniff out this kind of BS. If they understand, if they know, if they get any inkling that what is happening has all been scripted or crafted or somehow falsely made up, they're going to be up out of there. They want the feeling of organically discovering your value. Guess what? The only way for them to organically discover their value is if you really are high value. This is the way it works. Good to see you in here, Lorenzo Davis. All right, excellent. This was a good. Thank you again, Desmond, for your question. If you guys have questions that you would like for me to answer on the air, you guys can do that through my contact tab, donovansharp.com/contact. You can shoot me an email, tsr@donovansharp.com. All kinds of ways to get a hold of me. If you're a patron, just send me an email. I never use Patreon Messenger. That's the way to do it, man. And I tell people all the time, I'm not cheap. Like my consultation fees are very, very cheap, or my consultation fees, they're not. They're certainly not cheap. So if you want to listen, if you want a creative way to ask me a question, if there's something that you want to, if there's something you want me to answer, um, then those are the best way. Those are the best ways to do it. Shout out to Robert Waters with the $2 super chat. Says, how do you navigate if your woman wants time to herself? Ooh, yeah. Robert, if a woman wants time to herself, what that says to me, that says two things to me. Number one, you're smothering her, and number two, she doesn't like you enough. Dude, a woman should never ever, if a woman really likes you, she wants to be around you all the time. And it's so funny, you hear this a lot with dating experts and dating gurus. Well, each party has to have time to themselves. They have to have time to themselves to just sort of decompress. That is not the case with women. If a woman really likes you, she wants to be around you all the time. This is not a theory, this is a fact. Now, men, we're a little bit different. We can be, listen, I love me some Devin, but I'm glad she has a 9 to 5. I'm glad she goes to work. Otherwise, we'd kill each other because I can't, oh my God, right? We just got back from Atlantic City. Don't get me wrong, I loved spending time with her, but like day 3 or 4, I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't wait till we get back home where I can spend time by myself. But Devin likes to be with me all the time. So if a woman tells you that she wants time to herself, this means A, you're smothering her, and B, she doesn't like you as much as you maybe think she does. Mark Viola, I like her. I like your response. Yeah, she needs time to stay home to read and take up knitting. That's funny. Robert Waters asks, does this change when there are kids and all that? You shouldn't be dating single mothers. You should not be committed to single mothers in the first place. If you listen, and again, we say things like stay away from single moms. When we say stay away from single moms, single mothers, what we are saying is do not commit to single mothers. Do not get into committed relationships. Do not marry single mothers. Dude, if you wanna have friends with benefits arrangements with them, if you want to have one night stands with them, dude, let the good times roll because single mothers are some of the easiest targets out there. Do not commit to one. Period. Robert Waters says, "LOL, not a single mother, your own kids." Okay, you've given me a $2 super chat, and the answers that you require are very long and extensive. DonovanSharp.com/consults. DonovanSharp.com/consults. Listen, I love answering questions, but again, the question you're answering me, the question that you are asking me, that requires an extensive answer. So you got to give me a little bit more detail next time. No problem. Okay, well that's gonna do it for this. I guess this sharp short. Again, guys, I'll be back. I'll be back on the air. I'll be back in. I'll be back in studio. I'll be doing the regular studio shows on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 12 Eastern. My patrons are still going to get the full breadth of my content, and then Devin and I are going. We're going to the Florida Keys next weekend. We're actually leaving on Thursday, and we're going to be getting back on Sunday. So I'll be back on the air full time on Monday, August 5th. But thanks for watching, guys. Robert, I appreciate the $2 super chat, and I will talk to you guys next time I'm on the air. Thanks for watching.